G'day all. Okay, I am the fear of change system demon. Okay, so we've had the following. You had the embarrassment system demon, okay, which is at the top of the triangle. At the bottom you've got the fear of loss and the fear of change system demon, which is me over here. Okay, fear of loss and then embarrassment. Now, fear of change and fear of loss at the bottom 2 points manifest the embarrassment system demon. Therefore, you'll notice that consciousness system manifestation experiences exist in triangle formations. And it is in these triangle formations that you want to disintegrate. Do not be of that anymore. Because that's the whole consciousness perception manifestation of 3 or more in my name. Fascinating, eh? Or 2 or more in my name. Sorry. 2 or more in my name, I am there. Okay, so fear of loss and fear of change manifest the embarrassment system which you experience. So you think it is embarrassment which you've defined your experience to, but actually what's behind it, which created it, is the fear of change and the fear of loss. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, fear of change system demon is what I am. So when you fear change, the only way you fear change is when you've gone and defined yourself according to your world. Okay, for instance, let's take an example. You're about 16, 17 years old. Your parents tell you, son or woman or girl or whatever, child, we are moving. Okay, we are now moving to a different state. You're going to a different school. Oh my God. Yeah, you break down, but my friends are here, and I've built my life here, and here's my favorite mall to go shopping to, and here's a beach to go surfing. There is nothing. I can't do anything there. This is my life. This is my world. You're taking it away from me. That's fear of change. Why? Because you've gone and done the following. You've defined yourself according to your friends. In other words, which means you cannot be away from your friends because you're so much part of them. You can't be away from your ocean and your surfing because that is you. Without it, you'll be lost. Without your friends, you'll be lost. You'll mean nothing. Then, what else? The mall, shopping, food networks, whatever, your favorite little dairy places there. And that's you, and everything's going to be gone. And then you're going to an emotional breakdown because your whole world is going to be gone, and the new is coming forth, and you don't know what the hell to expect. So why does fear of change from that perspective exist? Because now you've got to go and redefine yourself according to other people, other place, and a new home. And that scares the living shit out of people, because that means they have to start all over again and redefining themselves. But that is not where I'm getting at. I don't want you to fucking recreate me again, please. What I'm saying is the following. When your world is changing, when something of your world is not what it was before, and you experience breakdown or fear or anxiety, whatever, know that that part of your world you've used to define you according to. And that if that were to go, you'd not exist anymore, or a part of you will not exist anymore. The same with relationships. Why do people have emotional breakdowns? Because that person that left, in them, a part of you existed. And without them, you're nothing. That part of you is gone. Whether it be the perception of love, caring, holding, support, stability. People put that shit out there in their world. And then when that collapses, they collapse because they've gone and defined themselves according to separate manifestation in the world. It is simple. So, what you do is the following. Now, you've got the triangle, okay? You know there's fear of loss and fear of change, which manifest the embarrassment system demon, okay? Now, you work with fear of loss system demon and fear of change system demon, and you're able to test whether your application of forgiveness was specific by placing yourself, and it will happen spontaneously. Remember, you will test yourself, okay? So it'll become moments where an embarrassing situation, as per definition of human beings, will occur to test yourself, whether yourself to see, did you allow yourself to go into embarrassment? If you did, you have to go back to the fear of loss and fear of change and check what point did I miss there, And then so you'll test yourself in your world, because who's exists but you. So, fear of change, forgivenesses. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to fear change, because I have defined myself according to that specific point that had changed. I forgive myself that I've defined myself according to that which is separate from me in my world, and that if that were to go, a part of me would go. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to define myself in placing myself into materialistic manifestations in my world. And if that were to go, I would go and I would disappear, and I can't handle that. I have to control my world. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to try and control my world, because as long as I control my world, I know I am in control and nothing has to change. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to use a method of control, keeping human beings in my world as I want them to be, so that I can make sure that I don't have to change. So it's a very important point, human beings. Look who is in your world, who are you controlling, why are you controlling them, how are you controlling them, to remain in your world just as you want them, exactly on their place. You know how to be with them, how to talk to them, what to say to them, what to wear in front of them, how to behave in front of them, exactly. Just to keep them in your world, and that's what happens to relationships. In relationships, people control each other, so that they can just remain in the relationship, so that they know where they stand with each other, so that they never have to change. And that's why emotional breakdown occur, because that control falls, and then they realize that I can't control that person, and because they've placed all and everything of themselves into a person separate from them, and then they fall apart, and their whole world fall apart, etc. So, what I'm saying is, human beings, have a look at where in your world you've gone and defined yourself according to something separate from yourself. Where have you placed you outside of you, that if that were to go, you would completely have a breakdown? And test it for yourself. Simple example would be, put everything of your world here in front of you. Like, take everything away, one by one, remove it, so that only you stand alone. It is a simple practice example. If you experience yourself, for instance, if you were to take your husband or your boyfriend away, or your wife or your girlfriend away, or your... Yes, something like that. You know, gays, lesbians included. I'm not talking only about normal relationships. This is now everyone in a relationship with a partner. If you take out your partner in any way or form, manifestation your partner is, where are you reacting in your physical human body? Or where are you reacting emotionally? If you're reacting emotionally, for instance, you experience fear immediately. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to fear being without my partner. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to fear being alone. I forgive myself that I've allowed myself to fear being independent, etc. And so you continue. Just a simple practical example to assist yourself with. Okay, so this is the fear of change demon. Thank you very much.